We have a massive Mavericks trade update that's been in the works all summer long, but there just hasn't been any traction until recently. We did get a report earlier today that shows that the Dallas Mavericks are aggressively pursuing a trade suitor for one Max, our fan favorite young forward who showed a lot of promise, especially when guys were out, either injured or sick, and we had to rely on Max. He definitely showed us flashes and potential. But unfortunately, with the way the Dallas Mavericks are currently constructed, we are very heavy at the forward position. And Max, unfortunately, looks like the odd man out, as we are also trying to find a roster spot for Dante Exum. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the trade reports surrounding Dante Exum as well as Max, who's coming, who's going, and what should be the perfect situation for the Dallas Mavericks to handle this whole trade. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, 46.1% of you guys watching are not subscribed. I get it. It's still the summer for some of you guys. You may be on vacation. School's back for some of you. You're back in school. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, make sure you subscribe. But the Dallas Mavericks have been in pursuit of a trade suitor for the last several months, and we've reported on it heavily on this channel ever since the ever since the draft night where we were trying to find a trade suitor for Max. In the weeks that followed, we got the report that the Dallas Mavericks have offered a one-year contract to Dante Exum. The only problem is we don't have room for Dante Exum. At the time of this recording, we're currently sitting at 16 players on our roster, which means someone has to go. If we take a look right here, the report that came out earlier today saying, the Dallas Mavericks have ramped up their efforts to find roster space to sign Dante Exum per the Steinline. The push has focused on finding a new home via trade for Olivier-Max's Prosper, our man Max. And I know there's a lot of Mavericks fans out there that might be saddened by this, that are also kind of confused. There are a lot of people online I saw today that were a little bit upset that it's Max that has to go. I, myself, am a fan of Max. I've seen him play in the G League where he does ball out every single time he's down there. But unfortunately, when he gets called up to the main squad, obviously due to his positioning and how far along he is in his progression in his own way, he's not ready yet to be a part of the main squad to get actual rotation minutes. He's a little bit in that tweener situation alongside Jaden Hardy. Jaden Hardy also balls out in the G League, but anytime his number's called, it's always hit or miss on where he's going to land. He's going to be great that night or a liability that night. And when it comes to Max, I truly do believe in his own progression. I do believe in his potential, just not with the Dallas Mavericks. There are many other teams that could use a young forward who is still growing and still developing. There's not really much anywhere in his game that he won't develop. He has shown signs year over year that he can still grow. I mean, he got drafted the same year as Derrick Lively. There are signs there that he also can still progress and grow. If we take a look at how well he played last year, although we were stifled with injuries and just not barely having enough players to even go out there and compete, in 11 minutes per game, Max was able to put up 3.9 points, 2.4 rebounds, 0.8 assists, 0.1 blocks, 0.5 steals, 0.3 turnovers, 0.5 fouls per game, while shooting 40% from the field and 23% from three. Obviously, a very small sample size, 11 minutes per game, where the majority of those minutes do come in garbage time, not really in the flow of the game. 3 points, 2 rebounds, that's not too bad. Obviously, if Max were given a real opportunity with any team, whether that be the Utah Jazz, the Brooklyn Nets, or even the Orlando Magic, where he could actually get some real burn, his numbers could improve. He could be a solid rotation piece for a team that could use someone with his size, with his skill and his speed. Max is not a scrub by any chance. And I know a lot of people feel the same way about Jaden Hardy in that same regard, but it's all about opportunity. And unfortunately, currently constructed, the Dallas Mavericks don't have space for Max. He's a forward. We have PJ Washington. We have Anthony Davis now, who prefers the 4 over the 5. We have Najee Marshall. We have Cooper Flagg. We still have Caleb Martin. And I know some people would rather see Caleb Martin go than Max. But those are 5 forwards that are going to get minutes before Max. And as the 6th forward on the team, it only makes sense to ship him out to make room for Dante. And again, I know a lot of people would rather have Max over Dante. Dante, when healthy, is good. Dante's a great defender. He's a good ball handler. We saw what happens when you put him on the floor alongside Kyrie, as well as Luka Doncic back in the day. It definitely works. The problem with Dante is his availability and him actually being healthy enough to be on the floor. So I see why a lot of fans would rather have Max, someone with potential who fits Cooper Flagg's timeline a little bit better than Dante, because we don't even know if Dante's going to be here next season. So I totally get it. Unfortunately, you either find a trade suitor for O-Max, for Jaden Hardy, or, which nobody really wants, you have to cut Brandon Williams. Brandon Williams is one of the only players on our team that doesn't have a guaranteed contract. If we can't find a trade suitor for O-Max or Hardy or even Caleb Martin, Brandon Williams may be the player that just gets cut to make room for Dante. And again, that doesn't make sense. A lot of people, myself included, would rather have Brandon Williams over Dante, but that's just the way it is. But if we continue with the reports that we have, Shams tweeted out not too long ago, the Miami Heat have traded Haywood Highsmith and a 2032 second-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets for a protected 2026 second-round pick. The reason why I'm bringing this up is the trade that we will have to make to get rid of O-Max will look something similar like this, where the Miami Heat traded away a player and the only thing they got in return was a pick. The Dallas Mavericks, the reason why we haven't traded away Jaden Hardy or O-Max is they don't want to attach any draft capital. We've moved a lot of picks over the last 2 seasons and we don't want to move any more. So if there is a trade to be done, it could look something similar to that, where we find a team who will take O-Max and we'll get a second round pick or maybe even a pick swap. That's the most likely situation. Or what we could also do is if we do get a player back, we send 2 out, where most likely would be Dante Exum and or Jaden Hardy or Caleb Martin, depending on salaries, if they match. And not too long ago, earlier last month, we did get the report. Per sources, the Dallas Mavericks are working on a multiplayer trade to free up a roster spot for Dante Exum. Recent reports about interest in Cleveland's Dean Wade is progressing and things are being worked out. After this, we've heard absolutely nothing. It was a lot of something and it turned into nothing. Dean Wade could still be on the table for the Dallas Mavericks, but just last month, we did find out that the Dallas Mavericks are trying to find room for Dante. O-Max is obviously on the table. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they have a salary cap issue, same as the Dallas Mavericks, very close to that second apron. So unfortunately, we couldn't really do a 2-for-1 deal unless we get another team involved, and you really don't want to get too many teams involved for bench players per se. It really doesn't work out that way. But that does show that the Dallas Mavericks have been trying to find room for Dante. Unfortunately, O-Max is the sacrificial lamb that will have to be traded. And in my personal opinion, I mean, I've said it before, I would much rather keep O-Max. I'd much rather trade Caleb Martin, Jaden Hardy. I think O-Max is a young forward that could easily back up Cooper Flagg down the road, could easily be a good rotation piece and maybe a better trade asset down the road if he gets enough time on the floor to build that value. As of right now, both Jaden Hardy and O-Max have negative value. They don't play a lot of minutes, and when they are on the floors during garbage time, and although they did play well when we needed them the most, that obviously wasn't enough. Otherwise, they would have been traded away. I said it earlier, we tried to trade them during draft night, both nights. Didn't work. Even after that, when we got Dante a contract, we were still trying to find trades. That didn't work. But according to all the reports, it shows the Dallas Mavericks are aggressive in their pursuit to try to find a trade involving O-Max, and we should get a report or an update in the upcoming weeks. Maybe around the time that PJ gets his extension in a few days, we should hear something about O-Max. But the last thing that I want to leave with you guys is this. What teams do you think would be good suitors for O-Max? I'm thinking Orlando or Portland. I think Orlando just because they're a young team. Sure, O-Max would still be coming off the bench, but it's a team that could obviously use him in rotation. And Portland, I don't even know what Portland's doing. I'm just thinking of teams that really don't have any playoff aspirations. Yeah, they got Dame back, but I don't think that team plus an injured Dame is going anywhere. So sure, O-Max should go to Portland, get some burn, build up his value, maybe find a team after his contract where he wants to go, or maybe there's another team. So let me know in the comment section down below. If we have to trade O-Max, where do you think he should go? We're most likely not getting a player back. We're just getting draft capital because we're trying to find a spot for Dante. So the players we get in return doesn't really matter. It's more so, where do you think where do you think O-Max deserves to go? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. And as always, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.